Peace. Dr. She here. This is another fascinating book that you guys need to get. The Black West by William Lauren Katz. Get this one, fam. Get this one. So you can get a better understanding about where you were back when. What you were doing back when. It's just one little reference book, but I think it's good. It's a good read. Easy to get started with. Give you a better perspective on what's going on back then. The problem you have now is that you look at the past like it's the present. No, you can't look at the past like today. It was a different time. Perspective was totally different. You can't look at New York City today and think of New York City 300 years ago. There wasn't nothing there. The whole thing ended at freaking quote unquote Wall Street. There was a wall there because they were trying to protect themselves from the inhabitants of the country. That's why Wall Street was put there. That's a defensive wall. Battery Park, that was for defense. They had cannons there, fam. These people came as invaders, man, and they knew there was a hostile territory, so they put up walls and they put up batteries on the park. A battery is a line of cannons. That's why they call it Battery Park, fam. For your New York historians, that's why it's called Battery Park. They had a battery of cannons up there to protect themselves from invasion, not just from the quote-unquote natives, but from their own European brethren. The French, the Spanish, were all at war here, and the Moors were all at war here before the formation of the United States. And even then, they were still at war, because at the beginning of the United States, they were part of the Barbary Wars. They were called the Barbary Wars. That was a Moorish warfare along the coastlines of the along the coastlines of Europe. It goes all the way from so-called Africa, all the way up to Ireland. See, they don't want to tell you, man. The Moors own the seas, man. Why do you think there's so many? Why do you think there's so many black sailors, man? Moors own the seas. Always been sailors, been navigators, been map makers. Why'd they tell you Columbus was a half original man? Alright? How else would he know? That's where he learned his navigation skills from. The Moors, the Moors, the Moors, the Moors. The black folk. Alright? So don't tell me the European been on top for 6,000 years, because they have not. At all. They just got free of Europe not that long ago, literally. 1490, fall of Granada. That's when they finally broke loose. Of course, they couldn't go south, the Moors. They couldn't go west, the Mongols. Come on, they couldn't go nowhere. They were trapped in that. That's why there was so much infighting amongst them. Because they were trapped. EU means hillside. Rope is a rope to bind them in. That's in the lessons. Peace. Dr. She's out.